Hi, thank you so much for tuning in again. Over the last 6 years or so, we have made various investments in Kajiado County, which is one of Kenya's largest counties, and we've had lots of great experiences, learned a ton, especially around the notion of viable investment opportunities. And so I'm going to be addressing the governor, His Excellency Joseph Ole Lenku of Kajiado County in this video. So stay tuned, you're watching Own Land in Kenya, and I'm Solomon Wango. So as I mentioned, we've made various investments over the last 6 years in Kajiado County. And I'll be honest, as far as registries, land registries are concerned, based on our experience, Kajiado has been extremely difficult and problematic to deal with. Even before the administration of the current governor, the previous government was next to impossible to deal with, beginning with all manner of problems around corruption, cartels, even within the registry itself, people doing all sorts of illegal and immoral things around fraud and so on. And that's been well documented in the news. You can go back and check the archives as far as that is concerned. And so, admittedly, I always approach Kajiado County very carefully because it's a problematic county to deal with as far as registration of land is concerned. So Kajiado County, as most of you may know, is predominantly Maasai, belongs to the Maasai community. A beautiful country, very wealthy people, in very many ways not even recognized as such because of how maybe they present themselves due to their culture. But I've met 19-year-olds who own title deeds for 500, 600, 700 acres in Kajiado County, right? That's a very different proposition from those of us who are in the rat race in our urban centers, right? But we don't think of Kajiado County in that sense. And I believe that's beginning to change. If you don't know, Kajiado County is very rich in minerals, such as gypsum, limestone, and other related types of minerals, lots of quarries. This is a reason a good number of the cement manufacturers in Kenya are located in the Kajiado zone, beginning from Athi River, Kitengela, which is where a good number of them are concentrated, all the way down Mombasa Road towards Oloitoktok, where Simba Cement, for example, has one of their largest cement processing plants in the region. So, a ton of wealth there. Livestock ranching, predominantly that's what the Maasai are known for. Beautiful landscapes leading up to the foothills of Mount Kilimanjaro. So I couldn't say enough of positive things about Kajiado County. And I was very excited when Governor Ole Lenku came into power after the elections last year, because he had a very specific agenda around how to manage their land resource. There's been a lot of talk about the Maasai community selling off their lands too quickly to outsiders, and by outsiders we mean Kenyans from other parts of the country who would come and buy the land for relatively cheap prices because it's predominantly agricultural, freehold property, which is the least valuable kind of property you could buy. And so it's been attractive to investors for that reason. Unfortunately, a lot of us in the industry have done things that we ought not to have done as far as subdivisions of these pieces of lands are concerned. Many of us are busy selling quarters and 50 by 100s, which is 1/8 of an acre, and in some cases even smaller, without following the due process for fragmenting pieces of land to that size. And one of the things that people or the market likes about these sizes is that they're affordable because they're small fractions of already generally cheap land to buy. While that's good for you and me as far as entry is concerned, it's horrible for the county, and it's horrible for you in the future, because if due process has not been followed, what we've basically done is sown seeds for future slums. And these are not just my thoughts, but the governor himself has gone on record as making these remarks, because if you're going to fragment land to those sizes, you have to put in place a proper infrastructure to support the influx of that kind of density of land occupiers or users. And so the new governor came in place and in essence froze all subdivision of agricultural lands within his county, which caused all sorts of fear and concern in the investor community because of what that means for those of us who have bought 50 by 100s and those kinds of sizes for residential purposes. Many of us have bought in schemes purported to be future residential zones with schools and hospitals and police stations, but there's nothing there. There are no roads, there's no sewer system, there's no waste management infrastructure, there are no public utilities, in many cases no power and water, which is an issue in Kajiado County and many parts of this country, being a semi-arid region within the country. So, I mean, it made sense what the governor was trying to do. I, however, believe that it could have been done a bit better as far as the communication of where he was coming from is concerned, because a lot of people panicked around their own investments, and it's also caused a lot of us to stay away from Kajiado County and not invest there. More recently, the county government issued a guideline, subdivision guideline for agricultural lands by zones. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend that you review that document if you're interested in making investments anywhere within Kajiado County, and that includes places like Rongai, Kiserian, Kitengela, Ngong, Isinya, all the way to Namanga, and following the border all the way to Oloitoktok and beyond. Because as I mentioned before, Kajiado County is quite large, one of the largest counties in our country. If you are going to make investments within Kajiado County, you owe it to yourself to get knowledgeable about what the county government is trying to do as far as managing their land resource is concerned. Don't buy blindly because someone told you that there are clean titles available. I've mentioned before, I'll keep saying it again, the title deed is the most useless document in a land transaction because it is simply a representation of something else. A file, usually in the custody of the registry, which contains all the documents that give birth to your title deed. So just because I told you that there's a clean title available for a 50 by 100 or a quarter acre or any size for that matter within Kajiado County does not mean that it is safe for you to buy. Get knowledgeable, work with licensed advocates to understand what's going on. And my 2 cents and a humble submission to the governor of Kajiado County is please, please, please have your administration make bigger, stronger, clearer efforts to communicate to the general public what your stance is as far as subdivision of land is concerned, change of user processes. What are we supposed to do? A lot of people have no idea what they need to do along that process. What documents do they need? What department do they need to go see to get these permissions? So please engage us more. Give us the information that we need to make sound and safe investments within your beautiful county, because we love Kajiado County. A lot of Kajiado County sits within the Nairobi metropolitan zone because of its proximity to the capital city. So it's only natural that many of us in Nairobi and from other parts of the country will look to Kajiado as the next frontier for our future investments. So that's my 2 cents to you, Your Excellency. Engage us more, give us the information, make it more accessible to the general public, and we will all be the better for it. If you have any comments to make about this, please feel free to get in touch with us. Our social media platforms are up and running. You can even send us an email at inquiry@goshenacquisitions.com. Give us a call, 07 0001 0001. Again, that's 07 0001 0001. We'll be happy to hear from you. You're watching Own Land in Kenya. I am Solomon Wangwe, and stay tuned for more information on strategic land investment.